This week at the gathering, we dealt with this interesting subject called Who's Killing Our Kids? The idea is that oftentimes we look for institutions and organizations to blame the fact that our kids in America aren't doing any better than they are. We hear the statistics, drugs, schools, and all the rest. We send our kids to private schools and pay tons of money expecting them to solve the problem. Or we send them to church on Sunday morning and we go out and have coffee hoping that the church will somehow in 50 minutes or an hour and a half do what we haven't done all week long. But the truth of the matter is, still, without a question, the most influential force in America for the raising of our children are parents. It's not the government, it's not the church, it's not the school, it's you, and it's me, being parents to our children. And so this past weekend, yesterday, we dealt with the idea that we have to fight for our kids. You know, as a parent, I have a responsibility. It doesn't take much. It takes a biological encounter, a physical encounter to create a child. I guess anyone can be a daddy. But it takes a real man to be a father, to not just raise their children, but to invest in them, to train them, to see your child as a part of why you're here, to contribute. So we talked about that. I hope that you will listen to the whole talk, and because I think it's very powerful, because in it I talk about the 6 things that our children need from us. And I'm afraid that a lot of parents don't spend any time studying their children or investing in learning the techniques of how to be a great parent. And I also preface that with talking about the 3 common mistakes that parents make. I talked about adopting a command and control philosophy and not moving from that philosophy as your children get older. I talked about raising children that are experience rich but relationship poor. You really need to hear about that. That's really important because I see that all the time. We think that we can compensate the children what we can buy them, if we can give them more stuff. I hear parents say all the time, I work really hard so my kids can have what I didn't have, and which is a lie, it's a myth. And then the third, I think, most important is that we underestimate your power of influence and inspiration. No one does anything, young or old, because they're commanded, unless they don't have a choice. People want to be inspired by people to whom they are open for their influence. So, listen and spread this idea that raising super confident kids in a super cynical world is not easy, but it is a task worth it. You will not regret the time, money, and the effort that you have invested in your families, guys. It is. Nothing makes up for that. Nothing compensates for that. So, here's the challenge. You want to save America? Let's save it one kid at a time. You want to save America? Let's save it one great marriage at a time. We're going to have to fight for our marriages and fight for our kids and fight for our families. These are the things that matter.